Hi, welcome to the Rauschenbergers. Do you know what day of the week it is, Rika?
Tuesday? No, Monday.
No, you're right. It's Tuesday. And do you know what's for dinner on Tuesday? Tacos. It's Taco Tuesday. Coming in, Mr. Rauschenberger. Here's your
I
tacos.
wanted one.
Okay, you're on camera, just so you know.
Yeah, I know.
All right, okay. So on Taco Tuesday at the Rauschenbergers, it's also Teaching Taco Tuesday. And today we're going to talk about genetics. In particular, about what makes a boy or a girl or a male or a female, genetically speaking.
Mama, where's the rice?
Well, your father made it. Why don't you ask him?
On the bottom.
Oh.
So, Rika, do you know what type of chromosomes you have that make you a female?
Y and Y?
Nope.
X and X.
X and X. You have two X's. And do you know what boys have?
One X.
One X and one
Y.
Y. So here's my two X's. Mr. Rauschenberger, do you have your X and your Y?
Looks like I do.
All right. So I am a female, which means on a chromosome or a genetic level, I have two X's. And my husband is a male, and he has an X and a Y. And when we conceived, I passed along one of my, I know, it's awkward. I passed along one of my X's. So, right, can you hold this? And my husband passed along one of his Y's. No, I'm sorry, his other X. No, his X. He only has one X. So, Rika, you ended up with two X's. Can you hold those? Don't get tacos on them, okay? I'm going to use those again. You hold up your X's. You ended up with two X's, which made you a female.
Then you only have one X left.
Well, here's the thing. That's an excellent question. So in the egg that made you, I originally had two X's, and that egg divided, and one of the X's was passed on to you. It actually divided and divided again, so it duplicated and divided, so there were actually four X's. One made the egg cell. The other three were kind of food for that egg cell, which is a really cool thing, but way beyond what we're getting into here. So I passed on one X to you after that division happened. And after Daddy's sperm divided, he passed along the X to you rather than his Y. But there's all sorts of different combinations. I could have passed on this X to you, and Daddy could have passed on that Y to you, but then you wouldn't be the same you. What would you be?
Boy.
A boy, right? And or I could have
still
given...
name me Rika?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe Riker. Riker. I think Riker is kind of the male version of Rika. And so here's the picture of the day we found out that you were a girl.
Ew.
Look how cute you were. You look like a little, I don't know, what did you look
like a turd.
Okay, Rika, this is going for my students. Can you pick an appropriate word?
A worm.
Okay, a worm. So this is the ultrasound picture of the day that we found out that we were going to be having a girl. And this is what she looked like. And this is what she looks like now on Taco Tuesday, talking about genetics. So during that whole process, all sorts of different combinations could have happened. Let me get my Punnett square here. So we use Punnett squares to show how we get the different sexes during the process of meiosis and then through fertilization. So here are my husband's chromosomes. On his 23rd chromosome, which is our sex chromosome, he has an X and a Y. On mine, I have two X's. Through the process of meiosis, those cells duplicate and divide, but then they separate. And one of which is passed on to your offspring. Let's put this up here. So a Punnett square allows us to look at all the different ways those chromosomes could recombine. So my husband could and did pass on his X to Rika, and I only have X's to pass on. So if you combine this X in this first box, it lets us look at that possible combination. This X and this X, you write in this box right here, which lets us look at that. So there's a 50% chance every time you go through the process of fertilization that if you're a human or a mammal in general, that you would end up with a girl. But my husband also has a Y, or males also have a Y. And if they passed along that Y and it combined with this X, you would have an XY, which would be genetically a male. And if he passed along this Y and I pass along that X, we could also have a boy with that combination. So those are all the possible